Today we're going to talk about making money by taking advantage of price differences. If you want to know what I'm talking about, hang in there. I'm going to explain to you in just a moment. If we've never met before, my name is Carrie Esho, and my purpose in life is to help people with their personal finances. I've been doing that for 20 years now that I've been in the industry, and I started my own company so I can make videos like this and share my experience with you through videos like these. So I wanted to get on today and talk about what's called arbitrage, or simply put, the process of making money off of things by seeing a price discrepancy and going from buying it in one market and selling it in the other, where you don't have to wait around for it to, like a buy and hold strategy. You can just see it in one market and it's lower price in one market than it is in the other market, and that's a little something called arbitrage. So I wanted to share this today because it's a super easy thing that people can do to make a little extra money. And so I guess I'll tell you kind of my personal story. When I was studying for my stockbroker exam, they go through, and it's actually an investment term. In fact, let me read you the definition from Investopedia, is that it is a simultaneous purchase and sell of something to profit from the difference in price. So that's actually an investment. Arbitrage is actually an investment thing. There's a movie called Arbitrage. But simply put, though, it's just taking advantage of price differences, seeing it in worth in one market more than it's selling in another market. So buying it and then selling it in the other market. So an example, when I read this, it just blew my mind. So the example that I read was convertible bonds, because their intrinsic value can be, anyways, they can be a bond that can be converted into a stock, can actually be worth more than just a stock. So, or vice versa. So you could buy one and then sell it in the other market. So that's where the term came from. But nowadays it's been popularized in a type of arbitrage called retail arbitrage. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But to get back to my story, it just never occurred to me. I always thought of like buying low and selling high, or seeing something undervalued, kind of like the Warren Buffett strategy of value investing. Well, this is actually, I'm not even talking about investing, it's just these investing concepts that can be put to use in average, everyday, daily life. So I wanted to go ahead and just tell you about it. So retail arbitrage is a process of buying something maybe in a Target, on a clearance aisle, okay, or on a clearance rack at your favorite store, or what have you. You see it on sale and you say, oh my goodness, this could really go on Amazon for this amount of dollars. So I actually have an example. A friend of mine was at a store and she found a bottle conditioner that was $9. She's like, I just paid $30 for this on Amazon. Well, I said, buy it. I'll tell you why. Because you can, for $9, and then you can turn around and sell it on Amazon for $30. So this is a process known as retail arbitrage. So you find it and simultaneously sell it. It's not like a buy and hold strategy. It's not a, buy that shampoo at a discounted price and you're saving yourself money like I talked about last week. This is something that you can say, oh, it's worth $9. I only have to pay $9 for it, but I can sell it for $30. And then you profit off of that difference or that discrepancy in price. So that is retail arbitrage. So I wanted to kind of give you some examples like that one. And then, another one that I have is I don't want to say too much, because I don't want anyone to get mad at me, all right? But, for example, you could buy a discounted, I don't know. I can't give that example. But in other, you could go to, okay, here's a good one. You could go on Craigslist, and you could find something off of Craigslist, and then turn around, let's say it's an old chair of some sort, And rather than, flip it or refurbish it or restore it, rather than doing that, you just actually don't put any sweat equity, so to speak, into it, and you just list it on your local Facebook yard sale page. And so maybe you buy it off Craigslist, someone just wants to get rid of it, and you buy it off of there, and then you immediately sell it on the other the other source of, the yard sale page or whatever. So you don't even take and put any money or any effort into it. It's just that $5 chair could sell for $20 on this other place that I know of. Or they're giving it away and I have no use for it, but I recognize that it's worth something. So yes, I'll take that and then I'll list it for sale on one of these other types of venues that you can exchange. So we're talking about another example is garage sales. My mother loves to garage sale, and we'll find things, or she calls it garbage sale though, but we'll find things there that, you go and you find things and it just makes, you just do that for your own life, like I'm looking for a candle holder or what have you. But there are other situations where you may be able to, if you're good at something, like when my husband and I first started Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, he encourages people to go through there and find ways to make extra income. And I think one of the examples that I remember is that either he or one of his early goers was into golf, and he started going to garage sales looking for golf clubs because he could recognize, okay, these are good clubs. Maybe for you just go around because you're a coach of a basketball team, you go around looking for basketballs that are a certain size, that type of thing. Well, anyways, so he kind of said this example about these golf clubs. Well, the guy knew how to golf, and so he could recognize the value. So he was kind of saying, you go and you find something that you're good at, a hobby you enjoy, and you find those types of things in one market, and then you sell it in another market, which is all really stocks and bonds are, is someone's asking one price and another person is buying at another, and then the difference is, the spread, which is what the net income. So, all right, so back to the golf clubs guy. I remember Dave Ramsey gave him as an example, and I may be twisting it up, but as an example. So when my husband and I went through the class, I thought, well, gee, that's great, but I'm no good at golf, but what could I do? And so that's kind of when I got into seeking out these kinds of things. So retail arbitrage would be something, and I kid you not, on CNBC, like they knew I was doing this today or something, but on CNBC yesterday, there was a story of a guy who was an accountant. He was just out of college and he was an accountant, and he's started doing like what I'm talking about. He'd go to Target off the clearance aisle and then he'd look down and hey, I just got an idea. Why don't you buy a discounted Target card and do this? But anyways, okay, so he's on the Target clearance aisle and he finds whatever a hair scrub or a loofah or something, and he finds and he sells it on Amazon. Well, he started making so much money off of that he actually quit his job at accounting as an accountant in order to do that full time. And then that CNBC story was saying now his company, he makes $200,000, not a year, a month. $200,000 a month. Now he has 11 employees, he said, but still, can you imagine going from just out of college accountant, happened upon some things in Target, and these results are not typical, but you get the drift that there is some money to be made there, and it's just simply taking advantage of a discrepancy in price. So another thing that I wanted to talk about real quickly is the second type of arbitrage, and this is not necessarily, retail arbitrage is not for me because I hate to shop. I seriously hate to shop. But for people who are already doing it, maybe that's a way that you could pay for your own shopping habit. But the second one is more up my alley. So this is, nowadays virtual assistants are super, super popular. And so there's no There's nothing that says when you get a virtual assistant job or, for example, I have some of my own work on Fiverr that you can hire. Fiverr is one, and then Upwork is another professional services website where you can get online and do that. So yeah, it's a great little side hustle, which, we talked about a while back. It's a good little side hustle you can do, but what I wanted to the context I wanted to talk about it in is in arbitrage. So you could get a job off of Upwork, and let's just say, I'm trying to think of a good example. I didn't think of an example before. But, okay, let's just say it's data entry, okay? So you go on to one site where it's paying X amount of dollars, and then you go on to another site where it costs X amount of dollars. So you can find, okay, I don't even have to do the work if I can just find someone for less money than what I'm getting paid to do it, which is it's just a business model. There's nothing, that's all it is. It's just going backwards instead of saying, okay, well, these are my costs, this is my time, this is what I'll ask. It's going backwards. This is what I'll get paid, this is my time, this is what I can hire someone to do it for me for. So you find a job that needs done, you ask a price greater than what you find someone else is able to do it for. Or you can do it, like I say, as a side hustle and just keep all of it for yourself. But if it's something that you don't know how to do well, creating a logo, for example, is maybe something that you can do like that, where you just kind of contract or you act as a broker between the two parties. So basically that's all you're doing with that. So it's a form of arbitrage though, because the ask in one market is greater than the sell in another market. So does anybody have any questions about that? I know I kind of cruised through it kind of quick, but if anybody had any questions, I want to take a moment and just, answer them if you did. But just to kind of recap what I've talked about. Number one, arbitrage is simply making money off of spotting differences in prices, discrepancies between one market and the other. So it's not buying low and selling high. It's not value investing. It's just, there it is. This guy's asking 9, that guy's asking 30. Let me buy it from you, sir, and sell it to you, sir, and I've just made $21. So that's arbitrage for you. And then the first example I gave was retail arbitrage, where you could buy it, you could sell it on Amazon, you could sell it on eBay, you could sell it on Craigslist or on, like we here in our county, we have a yard sale page. Most people do. So there's that. That's retail arbitrage. And arbitrage is really, it is an investment term that was popularized by retail arbitrage. So, and you can see that like in the fulfillment by Amazon people, a lot of people like that, that do fulfillment, FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. A lot of those people, it's called retail arbitrage. So, but anyways, it's just a big fancy word for simultaneously taking advantage of low price in one market and a high price in another and bringing them together and making profit off of it. So, and then the second example I gave you was finding people that are asking for work for X amount, people who are going to pay X amount for it, finding a difference, and you putting the two together and keeping a split of it. So, if this video has helped you out at all, I didn't smile at all in it, did I? I'm sorry. I'm a happy person. I'm glad to be sharing ways to make money. But anyways, if this has helped you out, take a moment, please, to like it, share it, comment, subscribe to when I go live. You'll know if you subscribe to it on the page. Check out my website, carrieso.com. amoneymanager.com is my business website. And remember, I do practical prosperity seminars where I teach people how to receive the promises of God in a practical way using practical financial principles. And you can find out more about that on my website, carrieso.com. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you have any comments, let me know. If you have something you've tried that works or doesn't, let me know that too. And we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.